Coach Phil Neville.
It's like past 11. I was in bed last night for 10 to 9. I thought it was the best performance of the season. The training on Thursday, the players were unbelievable the last 2 days, and I thought they just performed great in the game today. They played with spirit and determination. I thought the scoreline was unjust at half time. I thought, and probably the most angry I've ever been with them at half time, because what I said to them at half time is that I'm sick of talking about missed chances. I'm sick of talking about getting to the final third and not producing. And I told them that they had to produce, and they did. And the substitutions won us the game again. Gonzalo I thought was changed the game. I thought Robert Taylor played probably his best game. We spoke to him midweek about him taking more accountability and being that player that doesn't probably pass, that maybe dribbles a bit more, and I thought he had his best game for the club. And I think we're going to enjoy seeing Pozuelo play. So I'm really pleased and proud of the players, and now we move on to Tuesday, where we've got to compete in a game of football that we're all so excited to, and we're good.
We're going to get started with questions now. First, Chris Whittingham of Inter Miami Broadcast, and Michelle Kaufman. Chris, go ahead.
Chris, you're going to have to sort your mic out.
Can you hear me now, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to start by asking, when did you believe, and when do you feel like the players believed that the comeback could be fully completed? It's Inter Miami's first ever comeback from 2 goals behind in their MLS history to win a game. But when did you feel like that belief actually seeped into the team and you were going to complete this comeback?
Thursday, I really did. I came in Thursday morning and I was, you have that sickly feeling in your stomach that you defeat the night before in 2 home games that we wanted to get maximum points for, and I walked into the cafeteria at 9 o'clock after we'd had our staff meetings and everything, and there was 25 players in there, laughing, joking, energised, and it inspired me. I honestly, I've never seen anything like it for a long time. And then on Friday morning, we only did a little bit of training. You guys were there watching, and the energy, Michelle, you probably would back that up. The energy was not from a team that lost 48 hours before that. And I just said to them today is that when you go into work, whatever walk of life that you work in, if you go into work and if you enjoy the people that you're working with, it makes your job not a job, it makes it enjoyable. And we've got a group of players now that love coming into Miami. They're creating their own culture, they're creating their own identity. And I suppose the identity that we're seeing is that this team never knows when it's beat, it never knows when to give up, and it scores late goals. And I think a team that scores late goals, that never knows when it's beat, I think it's a team that's going to be successful in the future. And we trust these players a lot, and we really love what we're seeing. And if you think about Lassiter wasn't here, Coco wasn't here, Robbie Robinson wasn't involved. We've got a real good roster.
Start, Michelle.
First of all, congratulations. Even though Pozuelo didn't have a goal or assist, can you just talk about his presence? First of all, just joining the team a couple days ago, it seemed like maybe that helped energize the group. And then his passing, his vision today, just his presence on the field, what effect do you think that had on the team?
Well, I think 2 things really. If you'd have looked at him in training on Thursday, you said no way would he get through the first 15 minutes. He looked older than me. But he was, I thought he was sensational. When we talked in the press conferences about taking the extra pass, composure in the final third, and what happens is that when everyone else is running at 100 miles an hour, he has the composure just to put his foot on the ball, take the extra touch, manoeuvre the ball, protect the ball away from the defender, and make the pass that matters. And Gonzalo, it's 2 goals. I mean, the goal, I didn't think it was offside. We've been told it wasn't offside. The pass for Gonzalo's goal, the little intricate passing and combination with Bryce Duke. I think I said last week that Pozuelo's going to make Bryce Duke better, and you can see that tonight. So I'm pleased with the start that he's made. and I can only imagine once he gets up to into Miami type fitness, then he's going to be so good for us. And you know, we've got real competition for places, and that's really exciting.
Next question, Ian.
Hey Phil, the switch when Bryce and when Gonzalo came in was much more direct, much more straight, instead of going to those wide crosses that you'd done in the first half. Was that tactically on your part when they came in? Was that something that they had taken upon themselves as they saw the game?
Well, we brought Gibbs on at half time, and we'd had Gibbs and Yedlin who provided real width, so they went to a back five, which they had done in the previous 2 games when they'd won. And we then thought about how do we get more attackers higher up the field. So with Gonzalo, we had him up front, and then behind him we had Taylor, Bryce Duke and Pozuelo in the holes, in the little pockets, and we had and literally what we said to the fullbacks is that you just engage their wing backs, and 2 central midfield players had to just sit, so we had a box in midfield to allow, you know, our creative players just to roam free and be do what they do, and I thought it worked really well. I think bringing Gibbs on provided us with real balance. I took Damo off at half time because he was on a yellow card, and I didn't want, when we were chasing the game, I didn't want Damo to get another yellow card, and he was disappointed to come off because he was playing well, but we had to keep players on the pitch, and you know, when we signed Pozuelo and we've signed Corentin John, you know, the challenge now is to how to fit them all in the team. How do you get the best players in the team? How do you get your best technical players in the team? And when do you pick the technical players and the quick players in, you know, in the right games? And you know, that's something that we're working really hard on. Sometimes you sign a player and all of a sudden you stumble on a system that you'd not thought of. You know, we've thought about 3-4-3, 3-5-2 and 4-2-3-1 or whatever. But tonight with the 3 players in the pockets, I thought it worked really well.
Next question, Scott, then we'll go to Austin.
Coach, congratulations, by the way, on a great win. First of all, obviously you've faced Charlotte twice. They're an expansion team. Where do you feel that your program is compared to Charlotte's program? Because you guys look pretty evenly matched. And I know it's their first year, but you guys are putting your program in place.
I think in points we're evenly matched, but I think in the performances over the 2 games, I think we've been the better team. But I've got to say full credit to Charlotte. They've had a fantastic season so far. They've probably punched above their weight in terms of expectation. You know, when an expansion team comes on, they normally don't get as many points as what Charlotte have at this moment in time. But they've got good players. And they've got a real fan base back in Charlotte, and that's been their strength, and they've gained confidence from that, and the new managers come in and they've gained even more confidence. So we knew it was up against a team that was going to be very, very difficult to play against, and when you concede a goal after 40 seconds. 20 seconds. Is that a world record?
26.
26.
7.
No, it's not a record.
7 is the last record.
7 is the record. We'll try and beat that. We'll try and beat that. So, and that was from our throw-in. We lost the ball, and then just before half time, they score. I think Reyna scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Reyna scored 2 goals. So you think at 2-0, how do we get back in the game? But I knew at half time. I thought we should have been 3 up at half time. And I said that we can win this goal by more goals, and you know, when we started to get the rhythm again in the second half, and I'm pleased for Emerson to come on and score. The boy was so emotional after the game, and the substitutes won us the game.
Austin?
You just said the substitutes won you the game, but I wanted to ask, because even last game we talked about the first 20 minutes of that one, starting off on the wrong foot. I mean, is it frustrating for you as a coach to not get into games right away? And I mean, do you want to claw back into games, or how do you plan on changing, maybe starting better?
Well, I think today was just a lack of, Motta gave the ball away, and it was just a lack of concentration. After that, we played well. You know, I thought during the first half, wow, we're playing some of our best football. We looked expansive. We were connecting. We had chances. So I didn't want that to change. We just had to be better in the final third and basically defend Reyna, really. So I didn't. The only thing I got aggressive with them at half time is the fact that we cannot take for granted the chances that we're getting. We can't. You know, at times the clock's running. 15, 14 games. Oh, we'll score in the next game. No, we score now. And the 4 goals we scored, I thought were brilliant goals, brilliant finishes. and I'm super proud.
Do last two questions here and then back to Michelle.
Hey Phil,
Yep, you're good, you're good.
you mentioned it a little bit earlier in that last question, but what exactly were you telling the boys at the break, obviously being down very early on and then right before halftime? What was your message to them, or what were some of the
Put the ball in the back of the net. Really, no, it was as simple as that. It put the ball in the back of the net.
They did.
And they did, and they always do. They always deliver. They've never, ever, ever let me down as a coach or let this football club down this season since we've been playing. They've given everything they can, and you know, it was. I think they needed that little bit of a jolt at half time, because you always think, oh, it'll come next game or it'll come the next chance. Well, you know, the football centre forwards, the assassins in football just score ruthlessness, and now we have to be ruthless. If we want to challenge, if we want to be a playoff team, we have to make sure we pick up points in every single game.
Last question, Michelle.
All right, two-part question. Can you talk a little bit more about Emerson? I mean, to come in that late and score the game winner, and then finally, just what does this win mean going forward? How much of a boost did the team get? How important was it to win this game? Because you were down to 12th place all of a sudden in the standings, and then with that win, you moved up. You know, during the game, you moved from 12th place to 9th.
How did Philadelphia win against New England?
Philadelphia won. Philadelphia won.
And how did Toronto win?
No.
0-0.
Yeah. No, I think it was 2-0.
Toronto lost one, right?
Yeah.
Chicago. Seattle.
Yeah, second half you had dropped to 12.
Chicago won.
Did they?
Chicago won.
Okay. So I think our home form has been really good, and we need to maintain that home form. We need to make sure that we keep in touch with Charlotte, Cincinnati. We've got Cincinnati coming here in a couple of weeks' time. Another big game for us. We need to catch those in front. If you think about, there's probably 3 or 4 teams at the top, and then there's another 3 or 4 teams that are all in this: Columbus, Atlanta, ourselves, New England, Montreal, maybe. That are all in a cluster of teams, Charlotte and Cincinnati. That it's anyone's, and it's about picking up points, recovering from defeats and winning the next game, winning your home games, picking up points on the road. And in terms of Emerson, I thought the other night he had his best game in terms of his consistency of his performance. He's a boy that's learning. It's a boy that we're going to take the long-term approach with, and he's started to show the things that we've been working on every single day of the week. We work him, we drill him, we work him hard, and he's now beginning to understand the language, the culture, the system, the style, and how to be a professional footballer at the top level. And you know, I think we're really pleased. We're excited how far he can come, and I really want to get home to bed if that's okay. See you.
Thank you.
Good luck. See you
Have fun.
Monday. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Phil.